The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello and welcome to TVWAN News. I'm Jasmine Irujak. In this edition, public servants call to reset vision to serve, strong winds bring chaos to coastal homes, and Lewas arrive in Nepal for World Cup qualifier. The Middle Fly District Development Authority and Okteli Development Authority have extended their partnership to another year of education assistance and development programs. Through the education program alone, 208 students from the Middle Fly are being sponsored to pursue studies at various institutions. Under the MOA, OTDF will continue to manage and administer the scholarship program and other agreed programs in close coordination with the Middle Fly DDA, ensuring transparency, accountability, and alignment with district priorities. The renewed partnership reflects a shared commitment to investing in education and community development, aiming to create lasting benefits for the people of the Middle Fly District. Papua New Guinea has entered 2026 with a bold reset, with the unveiling of the government's strategic goals during the Public Service Dedication Service in Port Moresby today. The plan, themed Papua New Guinea Strategic Goals 2026 and Beyond, A New Journey, A New Reset, focuses on economic growth, education, health, and governance.
The launching of the plan today sets priorities in Papua New Guinea's economic growth, public service reform, education scholarships, and health milestones, alongside historic reforms, including the first ever State of the Public Service Report. The Prime Minister, James Marape, said the country's economy grew from 79 billion in 2019 to 132 billion in 2026. Enabling major investments in education scholarships, second chance learning for 100,000 school dropouts, and TVET skills for SMEs. Marape highlighted the health milestone achieved recently that included the first ever kidney transplant and heart bypass surgery last year, with a new cancer facility expected to open this year.
Kidney transplant. Last year, the health sector, first ever heart bypass. And our specialists came by the first quarter this year, not second quarter this year, we should open the most well-resourced cancer facility in the Australasia, in the Pacific region at Palm Gem Hospital, work in progress. The health sector knows my direction that 1 hour from which must be all manners of health facilities in our country. Shortcomings are there, the work within PHA and the National Health Department, but work is running as we speak in the health sector. In the road and infrastructure sector, ports are being redeveloped. 6 major ports in our country are facing redevelopment. Last year, you would have all seen, I drove from Kupiano Central Province for the first time to Alatau. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, I drove from Huga, Telefomin. Road connectivities are being opened up throughout our country as we speak, bringing road to the unreached, connecting the unconnected, and of course, the airport infrastructures receive greater support, and work is continuing as we speak. Rome was not built in 1 year or 1 term. Rome is a Rome today of 1,000 years. USA will celebrate 250 years of independence this year.
The Prime Minister urged the public service to work together under the National Public Service with honor and pride. He urged this as a start of a new journey for Papua New Guinea. Marape called for unity and commitment as the country embarks on its 2026 reset. Joanna Pile, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape has called on the public servants to recommit themselves to national service as Papua New Guinea enters its 51st year of independence. He stressed this when addressing public servants at the public service opening and dedication service this morning at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex.
The public service opening and dedication service held today in Port Moresby called for public service to reset and embrace goals to better the nation. The service was attended by senior government ministers and public servants. Prime Minister Marape said the dedication service is a national rededication rather than a ceremonial formality, marking a shift from celebrating PNG's Golden Jubilee to delivering tangible development outcomes. He describes the service as a national reset and the start of a renewed push toward long-term development with higher expectation placed on all public servants.
We've done work. These plans are not wasted. Work is been doing. I want to thank Chief Secretary and the entire public service, to the clergymen and all the people of our country. Within the constraints we face, we're still doing work, and I want to comfort all of you that we're doing work. We've done some work, but much more work remains unfinished.
Prime Minister Marape urged public servants to work harder, use time productively, and reduce delays and inefficiencies, stressing that nation building depends on commitment from every level of the public service. He said the next 20 years will be critical in saving PNG's economy, infrastructure, governance, and public service performance, and called for immediate action in line with the medium-term development plan for Joanna Pile, TV1 News.
Eastern Highlands public servants have started the new working year with a strong message to refocus and serve with integrity. A dedication ceremony was held at the provincial headquarters, bringing leaders and officers together to recommit to service delivery.
After a successful festive season, it was back to business for public servants in Eastern Highlands Province. Officers from the provincial headquarters and all 8 districts gathered at the Yanepa House lawn for a dedication ceremony to mark the start of 2026. The ceremony was attended by Eastern Highlands Governor Simon Sia, Provincial Administrator Alan Loss, his Deputy Michael Mogia, sector directors, advisors, pastors and the general public. Governor Simon Sia urged public servants to reset their mindset as the province looks ahead to the next 50 years. He stressed the importance of honesty, transparency and accountability in public office, reminding officers that they are paid to serve the people.
The new year, we must have a new focus, new vision, new drive. All right? New drive in the right way, in a positive way. Let's work with honesty. I stand for honesty, accountability, and transparency. Transparency. After 3 years as a governor for this province, as of today, I don't think my office got any D now.
Governor Sia also announced plans for the provincial government to sign an agreement with the Independent Commission Against Corruption to establish an ICAC office in Eastern Highlands Province. Provincial Administrator Alan Laws told officers that public service is not a private business and leadership positions are temporary. He called on officers to put the people first and remain committed to service delivery.
For them put him you na me long 7 people belong in. Na work machine so me encourage you please. Our mindset you must change. No plan mindset, no plan thinking you got dedicate him you yet na you serving people to the best of our ability. My message is the essence of this new year 2026 is to reaffirm our commitment to efficient and citizen-centered service delivery.
The dedication ceremony marked a renewed commitment by public servants to serve the people of Eastern Highlands Province in 2026 and beyond. Public servants return to their offices with a renewed pledge to work with integrity and responsibility for the people they serve. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
The Papua New Guinea Defence Force opened its 2026 working year today with a flag-raising ceremony and mini-parade at Murray Barracks in Port Moresby. Chief of Defence Rear Admiral Philip Polewara officiated the parade, marking the start of official duties after the festive break. He outlined key priorities for 2026, including a review of the Defence Act and the restructuring of the force.
A mini parade, followed by a flag-raising ceremony at the Murray Barracks Parade Ground this morning, signified the start of the 2026 official year. Chief of Defence Rear Admiral Philip Polewara officiated at the ceremony, calling for more working partnership, determination and commitment from its members to meet the aspirations of the force this year onwards.
These are some of the cultures that we died down and we are bringing it back slowly.
Polewara outlined key priorities for 2026, including a review of the Defence Act and the restructuring of the force.
Here, we have, some of the things that we have to implement. The main thing is, the Defence Act review and the restructure of the force, going forward. I think you heard in the CDF end of the year speech last year that we going down Army, Navy and Air Force. This is the restructure of the force. We are restricted by law, and this is something that the Department of Defense is running to review the Defence Act, which is we almost complete. And then once it's completed, if go in whatever our Parliament says, and that will now set the pace for the growth and the build up of the defense force.
He said the force intends to boost its numbers and increase its capabilities, but is unable to do so due to the delay of the Defence Act review. Once passed in Parliament, it will enable the growth of the force.
Talk about increasing the numbers, do this and that for the defense force, but we can't. We have to respect the law. Our Defence Act is restricted. And that's something that we made, where I don't know whether it's an error or something that an oversight, that we put the structure in law. And that's how, there's no way you can go. We are fenced in. So once we review the Defence Act, then, we can grow the force to, what our government and our people want to see.
The CDF said last year was a good year, marked by the PNGDF Week, the signing of the Defence Treaty, the opening of the Lombrum Naval Base, among other key achievements. This year, the force intends to achieve more with the support of its bilateral partners.
On the preparation for the 50th anniversary. So this year we will look at some of the things that we have to implement for the force, for the force growth. The main one is that will allow the force to go forward is the review of the Defence Act. Once that is we achieve that, then we have to restructure the force.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. After the break, strong winds bring chaos to coastal communities.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, I
long year 2024, 7 pla baby I born one time HIV. HIV I can go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama I get HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby I susu. Tasol Yumi can help him bel mama, long look out him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bell mama clinic, na kiss him antenatal check. Time Yumi pan him sick HIV area, or time bell mama I positive penis, early treatment I can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV eagle long baby. This lutok sawa I come long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Meet YumiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, YumiPay makes every payment simple. YumiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
It's not just a sport, it's a way of life.
Really good with ball in hand and will score under the post.
Charging down the field, some by Maka. How about that for defending? McCarthy Black takes them all on the outside and he's gotten away initially.
And now Faith Nathan slices between the New Zealand defenders.
And they're almost the way they are, Fiji. They're going to get the opener in the second half. One line break is enough. They live and breathe this game.
I want to create an entire world for people to get lost in.
Miyamoto spent his childhood exploring the woods around his home.
Oh, save me, princess!
And that inspires The Legend of Zelda. Board games were flat, horizontal, but Howard Wexler thought, what if?
Early on, the story is that you shoot something, but he's thinking about this differently.
What if we could make him jump?
Only on the History Channel.
Welcome back. 25 newly elected local level government presidents in Eastern Highlands province have been sworn in as members of the Provincial Assembly, while the election of the deputy governor has been postponed.
25 newly elected local-level government presidents in Eastern Highlands Province have officially been sworn in as members of the Provincial Assembly, while the election of the Deputy Governor has been postponed. The swearing-in ceremony took place recently at Muriso House in Goroka. It was chaired by Eastern Highlands Provincial MP and Provincial Executive Council Chairman Simon Sia. The ceremony marked the formal entry of the new LLG presidents into the provincial government system. The oath of office was administered by Eastern Highlands Senior Provincial Magistrate Josephine Nidue. Each of the 25 presidents signed official documents and took an oath, pledging to faithfully serve their people and uphold their responsibilities as leaders. The ceremony followed last year's local-level government elections, where all former LLG presidents across the province were voted out and replaced with new leaders in all 24 LLGs. Following the swearing-in, the election of the Deputy Governor was postponed due to technical issues within the Provincial Assembly. Governor Simon Sia adjourned the election to allow sufficient time to screen the newly sworn-in presidents before appointing them to provincial ministerial positions. The Assembly Service will advise the Provincial Executive Council Chairman on a new date to reconvene the Assembly and proceed with the election of the Deputy Governor. The event was witnessed by 4 open members of Parliament, including Minister for Coffee and Member for Obura Wananara, John Boito, Kainantu MP William Hagauno, Goroka MP Aye Tambua, and veteran politician Robert Atiyafa. Also present were Provincial Administrator Alan Laws, his Deputy Provincial Administrators, senior public servants from the provincial headquarters, and appointed members of the Provincial Executive Council. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
In an effort to build a data-driven future for their community, a newly formed youth-led organization has completed a comprehensive baseline survey across the Ungai local level government area. The survey, conducted over the past few weeks, marks an important step towards strengthening local development planning and attracting external investment.
Beautiful Ungai, Our Future Initiatives, a non-political community-based organization, was established 3 months ago by 100 members of the Ungai lineage of Eastern Highlands Province. This youth-led initiative aims to bring together local expertise and work in partnership with government bodies and international organizations to address key social, economic, and environmental challenges. The organization recently completed a comprehensive baseline survey across the Ungai local level government area. The survey focused on documenting socio-economic conditions, cultural assets, environmental and climate-related issues, and the natural resource potential within the LLG. It also reviewed existing community partnerships, external support, and the current state of basic government service delivery. BUOF operates under a unique hybrid structure. The organization has formally included LLG leadership, such as the LLG president and ward councillors, as ex officio members of its board. The organization envisions a smart, safe, sustainable, modern, healthy and wealthy Ungai society and hopes to serve as a model for community-led development in Papua New Guinea. A detailed report of the survey findings is currently being prepared. It will be presented to the Ungai LLG through the Ungai Bena District Development Authority to guide future planning and development strategies. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
The Miss Bird of Paradise Papua New Guinea Committee has extended its gratitude to LJ Hooker Papua New Guinea for its vital partnership and support as the major sponsor of the 2025 crowning night. LJ Hooker PNG's commitment dates back to the pageant's inception, when MBOP was in its early development stages, believing in its vision, sponsoring debut contestants, and providing the foundational encouragement necessary for the organization to grow. MBOP Chair Lady Anna Byers applauded the partnership, commending LJ Hooker for its exceptional dedication to corporate social responsibility. She noted that the company's leadership extends beyond the business sector, contributing meaningfully to community development and nation building. The PNG National Weather Service has sent strong wind warnings since last week, warning coastal areas of Western and Central, Milne Bay, New Britain to New Ireland, and East Sepik provinces to Bougainville. Several stilt houses in these areas were destroyed over the weekend. At Tatana village near Port Moresby, strong winds have left a few families homeless. On the early hours of Sunday, Tatana village was hit by strong gale force winds. Due to the strong winds that came, it damaged the stilt house, causing it to collapse into the sea. According to Bobby Henney, the villagers rushed to help during the heavy downpour when they heard the owner of the house calling for help. Fortunately, all family members escaped before the house fully collapsed. In Medang, a 40-horsepower dinghy loaded with bags of betel nut departed Medang for Kimbe and was caught in the strong winds and massive waves and sank. Fortunately, another dinghy which was traveling along the same route was able to assist and rescue those on board. PNG Weather Service continues to send out strong wind warnings and has cautioned small crafts and boats to take necessary precautions before going out to sea. Heavy rain and potential flood warning has been issued by the National Weather Service for areas in Eastern Highlands, Western East New Britain, the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, New Ireland, Medang, Morobeh Western, and Northern Province. Heavy rainfall is expected within the next 12 to 24 hours, which may cause flash and riverine flooding. Landslides are also likely to occur in prone areas. Residents are advised to take necessary precautions. And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at 0.2347 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying 0.2272 US dollars, 0.3350 Australian dollars, 0.1865 euro, and 35.34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, oil closed higher except gold and cocoa closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's OneTalk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's OneTalk Wallet. PSP's OneTalk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Long year 2024, 7 baby i born one time HIV. HIV ikan go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama ikat HIV, long time long karing baby, na time baby isusu. Tasol yumi can help him bel mama, long lookout him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bel mama clinic, na kisim antenatal check. Time yumi pan yung sick HIV ariap, o time bel mama i positive penis, early treatment ikan save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV eagle long baby. This lutok sawe ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Always on WhatsApp? Then this is your style of banking with TISA. Check your account balance or even chat with a TISA bank agent. Get started today by following these simple steps. 1. Save TISA Bank's official WhatsApp number in your phone. 2. Open WhatsApp and send a simple hi. 3. Follow the menu to start banking. It's that easy. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
Did you know that you can get the latest updates on what's happening on the DTV app? 1. Open the DTV app. 2. Go to the profile on the upper right-hand corner of your screen and scroll down to push notifications. 3. Turn it on and you're good to receive notifications on the latest sports, TV series, and movies. DTV, your TV on the go.
Before they were global icons, they were future stars.
Talent in abundance.
The next generation of international cricketers are ready to announce themselves on the biggest stage.
They'll be talking about him all around the world.
As 16 teams head to Zimbabwe and Namibia in search of World Cup glory. The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup 2026 begins.
The sun is shining. I got the kids from school. It seemed like a normal day outside. I began to get text messages. Are you home? Are y'all watching this? Wes comes into the closet. He says, it's here.
In the Eye of the Storm, Tuesdays 9:30 on Discovery.
It's time for Bat Wheels, heroes versus villains. Each of the Bat Wheels will face off against their rivals from the Legion of Zoom. You don't stand a chance. 2 rides, 1 rivalry.
Does it get any better than this?
Who has what it takes to drive away with the victory?
Hold it right there, Zooms.
Watch Bat Wheels, heroes versus villains. Every day, 10 a.m. on Cartoonito.
Thanks for staying with us. Turning overseas, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said Australia will join a meeting of finance ministers from the group of 7 advanced economies that he is hosting in Washington to discuss critical minerals. The G7 include the United States, Britain, Japan, France, Germany, Italy, and Canada, as well as the European Union, most of whom are heavily dependent on rare earth supplies from China. Last June, the group agreed on an action plan to secure supply chains and boost their economies. Mr. Bessent said he had been pressing for a separate meeting on the issue since last year's G7 Leaders Summit, and finance ministers had already held a virtual meeting in December. Afghanistan's hunger crisis is deepening. Millions of children are facing death from severe malnutrition, their dire situation due to the country's economic collapse. shrinking international aid, and the Taliban's policies. South Asia correspondent Meghna Bali reports from Kabul, where hospital wards are filling at an alarming rate.
This is Usmania. She's 2 years old and fighting for her life. She's critically ill, suffering from severe malnutrition and multiple infections.
Since her birth, I've been giving her 4 or 5 different types of milk. But when she drinks it, her stomach gets swollen.
Usmania has developed dermatitis, pneumonia and asthma. She's no longer able to feed herself. Instead, doctors and mothers deliver nutrition through a tube up to 7 times a day.
Sometimes I want to hit the glass of the shelves in my house. I feel so much pain.
In the bed beside her is 5-month-old Leila.
They don't have any hair on their head because they lack calcium. She is suffering from muscle wasting.
Cases like these now fill the ward in Kabul's Indira Gandhi Hospital.
There are 10 beds in this critical care unit, and as you can see today, every single one of them is occupied. In the last 6 months, staff here have treated more than 200 children, and when emergencies surge, they can place up to 3 children in a single bed.
The UN estimates 3.5 million children in Afghanistan are malnourished. Hunger driven by extreme poverty, compounded by the lack of any international aid, which was almost entirely cut off when the Taliban took power in 2021. We put these concerns to their spokesperson in a rare interview in Kabul.
Many international donors refuse to donate to Afghanistan because of your own policies, especially around these restrictions on women. Don't you think easing those restrictions would unlock more aid? Is it not irresponsible of your government to cling to policies that are costing Afghan lives?
The women and children of Afghanistan need humanitarian assistance. We should not politicise the aid issue.
But doctors here say Taliban restrictions on women are worsening the crisis, making it harder for families to get food and adequate medical care.
Because of our poor economic situation, I'm unable to provide enough food for us.
1.7 million are at risk of dying, including children in this hospital. The cost of hunger visible and entirely preventable.
Few Western journalists have gained access to Afghanistan under the restored Taliban leadership, and even fewer female journalists. ABC South Asia correspondent Meghna Bali has just returned from there, securing an interview with the ruling Taliban and seeing daily life for its citizens.
Taliban-run Afghanistan, the first thought many people might have is chaos and fear. And, we spent months trying to get into the country, and while, securing visas was frankly the easy part of this whole process, once we were in the country, it was extremely challenging operating here as a journalist. These images that we saw from 4 years ago in 2021, with the sudden withdrawal of the US, 2 decades of war later, and the sudden sweep of Taliban coming back into power, the world was shocked seeing, thousands of Afghans, climbing over fences, trying to get out of the country on these evacuation planes. At the airport, now come 4 years later, I'm flying, straight back into that airport, but now, it was quiet. It was sort of eerily quiet. When I came out of the airport, I sort of was faced with this "I love Afghanistan" sign. So it was kind of just like this bizarre experience of what you think the country is going to be and what it's like on the ground. And, many of the people I spoke to over my 9 days, a lot of what I heard was actually that people felt secure. They were glad that the war is over. This optimism might surprise a lot of people, and it certainly surprised me. But it's important to remember that this country, has come out of some 4 decades of war, and the life, it seemed as if everything was normal, but of course nothing is. This is, the most repressive place on earth for women, and being in the country as a female journalist was a challenge. We had to navigate a labyrinth of, permissions, and the Taliban, who is the de facto authority there, they wanted to know where we were going, who we were speaking to, how long we were going to be there, and there was a near blanket sort of ban on speaking to women. So it was a very difficult place to operate in. We went into Afghanistan in the first place was to cover the aftermath of a devastating earthquake from last August, which killed more than 2,000 people in the east of the country in Kunar province. We went to relief camps there where we just saw these remote villages completely decimated, people, some thousands and thousands of families living in tents under canvas, and this is peak winter. They are struggling. We saw children suffering from measles and diarrhea and a whole range of different infections. And what the context here is, last year, most of the Western world, but especially the US, really has cut aid funding since the Taliban has come into power, and that's had devastating consequences for the country, especially in light of cascading natural disasters. It's not just this earthquake; it's been floods and droughts, an economic crisis.
China has imposed a de facto ban on South Korean cultural products since 2016, when Seoul received U.S. anti-missile technology. Tense relations between the East Asian neighbors are improving under South Korea's left-leaning president, Lee Jae-myung. Since Beijing imposed the de facto ban in 2016, South Korean artists have been barred from lucrative tours in China, including screening of South Korean films and celebrities. China and South Korea now have agreed to cultural exchanges around sport, with optimism a broader relaxation of restrictions could be on the horizon. The central Victoria town of Harcourt in Australia has been one of the hardest hit by fires. Up to 50 structures have been lost since fires ripped through on Friday, and residents are only now being escorted back to see the scale of destruction.
Parts of this once thriving town now in ruins. The Prime Minister and Premier joining a devastated community, assessing the loss from the Ravenswood fire.
It's a small community, a beautiful community. It's known for its apple growing, its beautiful produce, its beautiful landscape that's just been ravaged by these terrible fires.
In this community alone, the losses run deep. 47 homes and 3 businesses destroyed in the blaze that fire crews had no hope of controlling.
From what we saw straight off the bat, we were going to struggle to stop this fire.
Many residents returning home to charred remains, while others miraculously escaped.
We're lucky, we've got our friends and family and our house is okay, but those people have lost so much.
My parents have basically been here all of, their lives. Nothing that I know of has been like this drastic in fires.
It's a pretty close-knit community, Harcourt here. This is not going to knock them down, but it's going to be a slow return, I feel.
On this side of the road, a home completely destroyed. All that's left is a chimney and a letterbox. On the other side of the road, though, we see the cricket oval, almost completely unscathed. Crews today have been working to restore a rail bridge impacted by the fires, the only rail link between Melbourne and Bendigo. The start of a long process to rebuild.
Police have confirmed the first fatality of bushfire emergency after human remains were located in the Longwood fire zone in central Victoria. All up, more than 300 structures have been destroyed and almost 400,000 hectares burned so far. Warwick O'Donnell is a Longwood resident who narrowly escaped fire that had reached his home.
This is somebody who is very lucky, in fact, to tell the tale. This is Warwick O'Donnell. Thank you so much for coming and having a chat with us. You live just a couple of kilometres down the road. Tell us what happened when the fire encroached on your home on Thursday afternoon.
Well, it's hard to remember really because it happened so fast. It was just, there was smoke on the hill. We have a massive hill opposite our house. I saw smoke coming over the top. I started packing my stuff in the car, all my tools and whatnot. Once I realised that I had another look to see how much time I had, and there wasn't much time at all. So I went in my room to pack a bag, packed my bag, and yeah, again looked out the window to see how much time I had, and the fire was there. It was here. It was at the house. It was at the front, on the road. And I pretty much had to jump out the window to get to the car before the fire hit the car. And essentially I got in the car, started it, and yeah, as I took off, the fireball just hit me, wrapped over me for a couple hundred metres down the road. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the car was going to make it or not, but yeah, got it out.
And you'd had the windows down. What was happening? What was happening with the flames when you were driving in?
Well, it just turned into like a cocoon. It was just, yeah, orange, yellow, red, and blinding, completely blinding. Couldn't see a thing. I was almost about to pull over because I didn't want to drive into someone else. I didn't know what was going to be in front of me. And luckily it just started to clear. And yeah, it just started to clear.
What was going?
And I realised that I'd sort of half outrun the fire, and I just kept going. And yeah.
What was going through your mind at the time when all of this was happening?
I probably shouldn't repeat what was going through my mind, but I should have, yeah, essentially got out a little bit earlier, yeah, and I tried to grab so many things. So I filled up my car and filled up my trailer. I didn't have time to even shut the gate on the trailer, so as I was taking off, everything fell out of the trailer and burnt anyway. So.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. The PNG Leopards arrive in Nepal for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup qualifier.
Do you want the best? Digicel TV has it all. Enjoy the latest football, Premier League, La Liga, and FA Cup. Stay entertained with HSBC 7, Top 14 Rugby, and more. All in high definition, not to mention international and local news. Home entertainment with a whole lot of Filipino dramas and more. Subscribe to a 40-channel postpaid TV package for 105 kina and stay entertained. But wait, there's more. With this package, you can watch Digicel TV on your mobile phone for free. No data cost and no additional subscription. Call us now on toll-free number 1515 to set up your monthly postpaid TV subscription today. Digicel TV. More channels, more choices, more value.
Before they were global icons, they were future stars.
Talent in abundance.
The next generation of international cricketers are ready to announce themselves on the biggest stage.
They'll be talking about him all around the world.
As 16 teams head to Zimbabwe and Namibia in search of World Cup glory. The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup 2026 begins.
A local wilderness expert named Skip Welch had taken the girl up to Ghost Canyon for a Bigfoot adventure.
He claimed that Bigfoot took her. If you go deeper into this, it's gonna get weird.
People can think I'm crazy, but I know what I saw up there.
Holy I found bones!
Bigfoot Took Her starts Tuesday, January 20 on Discovery.
We had a couple of really nice hangs, but I think it best that we go our separate ways.
Who even are you right now?
I'm a girl who's doing whatever she wants for the first time in her life. Buddy Slade and I are meant to be together, and I'm here to get him back.
You are a piece of work.
I'm going to Alaska.
Alaska?
Every man has the right to contribute a verse.
Welcome back. The Papua New Guinea Lewas arrived in Nepal on Sunday, the 12th of January 2026, as preparations intensify for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Global Qualifier. The tournament, which runs from the 14th of January to the 1st of February 2026, will be hosted at the TU Cricket Ground and Upper Hulpani Cricket Ground in Nepal, bringing together some of the world's leading associate women's teams as they compete for qualification to the ICC Women's T20 World Cup England and Wales 2026.
The national women's cricket team PNG Lewas have arrived in Nepal to prepare themselves ahead of the 7th edition of the Women's T20 World Cup qualifier. This serves as the final qualification tournament with the top 4 teams earning qualification for the 2026 Women's T20 World Cup later this year. Their preparation, including recovery sessions and on-ground training, ahead of the demanding fixture schedule. PNG Lewas played their first match on January 18 against Highlands. The match is expected to be a tough outing for the PNG team, but have adds up for the match. In the other showdown is PNG against Namibia on 24th January, which should get bets rolling on for PNG. PNG Lewas' other key fixtures include Sunday 18th January against Ireland, Tuesday 20th January against Bangladesh, Saturday 24th January against Namibia, and Monday 26th January against USA. Matches will be played across morning and afternoon sessions as per the official ICC fixture schedule. Cricket PNG has expressed confidence in the squad's preparations and readiness, with the team arriving early to adjust to local conditions and fine-tune strategies ahead of their opening match. The ICCC Women's T20 Global Qualifier represents a critical pathway for the PNG Lewas as they continue to build momentum on the international stage and pursue qualification for the Women's T20 World Cup. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
Teams competing in the inaugural OFC Professional League will begin arriving in Auckland from Wednesday, January the 14th, ahead of the kickoff on January the 17th at Eden Park. Among the headline fixtures is the highly anticipated clash between Fiji Bula FC and Vanuatu FC, with the two Melanesian rivals set to lock horns in what is expected to be one of the most intense matchups, alongside PNG Hekari FC and Solomon Kings FC.
The encounter will place Melanesian top teams right on the line as two of the Pacific's first professional football clubs in the very first match of the OFC Pro League. Vanuatu United FC and Bula FC will forever share the honor of kickstarting a momentous new professional era for football in Oceania. Both teams kick off the first game on Saturday, January 17th at the Eden Park in Auckland. The honor will be a motivating factor for both sides, keen to begin their campaign with a win, as well as etching their name in history. The two clubs are also neighbors, adding the spice of local bragging rights to the mix. Whatever the outcome of the opening day encounter, they won't have long to wait to go head-to-head once again, with their second match scheduled for late February in Australia. A total of 72 matches will be played throughout the season, with several traditional rivals facing each other for the first time in a professional league setting. In the second match on January 18, another Melanesian powerhouse take on to the pitch, with Hekari FC taking on a passionate Solomon Kings FC. A game set to entertaining, with the PNG team boosting 4 Brazilian players. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
The 38th edition of Summer Nats wrapped up in Canberra with over 100,000 people attending the annual Festival of Car Culture. Thumping V8 engines, burning rubber and custom paintwork were all on show, as were the nation's finest mullets.
Summer Nats is best known for one thing.
Like day in, day out, there's no better feeling than coming off and knowing you've done good, and then you just think, man, I hope the judges agree, you know what I mean?
High winds caused the burnout smoke to drift over the event. Others drifted sideways, taking along passengers to worship the horsepower gods.
Oh my gosh, it felt like I just went through like a religious experience, like my soul just left my body and now it's coming back again.
This mecca for rev heads had the supercharged, alongside the super rare, not to mention the super loud.
It does 161.09 decibels. It is Australia's second loudest demo car.
Volume is never a problem at Summernats. The rumble and roar of engines is ever present. This year's Grand Champion certainly made some noise.
The motor should be about 750 horsepower. Should be around 600 of the wheels. Haven't done a quarter mile or anything like that in it yet. It's I only drove it around the block before we came here, so.
Inside it was business at the front, party at the back, as the Mullet Fest Grand Champion was crowned.
I let it be its thing, and I did get a perm recently, so it's a bit wavy, cut some length of it, and now just rock it.
While the smaller mullets got a look in, so did the world's smallest car.
It's unique, it's cool, grown men love it, grown women love it, and the kids absolutely adore it.
Well, that's it for Summernats 38. It's been a great event, loved by everybody, welcoming cars of all shapes and sizes.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast: Southern, Port Moresby partly cloudy with possible few showers. Daru partly cloudy with some showers. Momase, Ley partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Madang rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Wewak cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kavieng partly cloudy with few showers. Kokoporo, Baul and Buka partly cloudy with possible few showers. And Highlands region, Goroka, Kundiawa, Bans, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg partly cloudy with some showers. Ocean forecast: Coral Sea, seas rough to patches of rough with northwest winds of 15 to 33 knots, reaching 35 to 40 knots at times. Solomon Sea, sea slight with north to northwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea slight to moderate with northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots. Pacific Ocean, sea slight with north to northeasterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast: waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daro to Kiwai Island, to Kerama to Yule Island, to Hood Point to Samar Island. Seas 2.5 to 3.5 meters, rising to 4 meters at times. Waters of Samar Island to Cape Vogel and All Milimbe Islands. Seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters, rising to 2 to 2.5 meters at times. Waters of Finchefan through Vitia Strait to CSC Long Island to Madang, and waters of Madang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters at times. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1 to 2 meters. And that wraps up the news tonight. Thanks for your company. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
for effective planning and execution.